Mm-hmm. It's live. Hello. Live from my mama's bedroom.
Yeah, we're in the bedroom.
It's the 50 Shades of Negro show. That's horrible.
That's horrible.
I like it. I'm exceptional.
I beat that.
So I'm Brooks. What's going on?
Dun, 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 dun. That's gonna come after Brooks. Dun, 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 dun. Brooks.
Yo.
Before we start, I would just like to say that this past weekend, my cousin and Brooks have come to save my life. Okay, my cousin was comedic relief, and
That's why I'm here.
right. And Brooks with
Actual engineering
and he does things
and skills
right.
with tools.
He knows how to work tools. He knows how to just allow me to sit back and relax. And
He knows how to read instructions.
amen. And let me know that I make poor decisions. So I appreciate
told you that last
night. First of all,
With the cricket?
not my poor decisions. So. But amen. So glory to God. How y'all been?
It's been a long time, and it's because of this.
Somebody's been going on last minute trips.
Mm-hmm.
Guests in town.
Yeah.
Listen,
She got people.
I was hosting, okay?
She got visitors. People come to see her.
Exactly. This is a once in a lifetime opportunity because I don't like people. So yeah, this is my mom and my grandmother's first Thanksgiving spent together.
Oh, I know. I saw the crying videos.
Listen, now I was there to laugh the entire time.
She was crying for out here 2 hours.
That's horrible.
I got all angles. I got hers and Dave.
Yeah. Oh, yep. Wait a minute.
Dave was like, I ain't still crying.
No, I know why she's saying wait a minute because me and you follow her. She can't.
I'm blocked.
I mean, she don't post nothing on there. It's just.
Yeah, it's your
Right. It's the most.
Okay.
She just be doing that awkward singing with song thing.
She got a sporting event for school.
I can't go.
She got Walmart.
I ain't there go.
Ooh. Okay. Oh yeah, that's a lot more comfortable.
But we can't
Oh,
see
you can't
you.
see me. Look, that's a happy medium. Hey,
You know how you get all the time. Okay, so let's get into the shenanigans that's been happening. Hopefully, you've been following the 50 Shades of the Negro website because we have a blog post that was happening in between because we was like, let's see tripping, and y'all need to know some shit that's going on.
exactly.
So, one.
That's a thing now.
What?
The blog post when we don't have the episode.
Oh yeah. So look out for our blog post when we're not supposed to have an episode. Let me say it that way. Because it's supposed to be every other week. So like this week, next week is the blog post, supposedly.
Yes. I'ma write the top 10 Christmas songs. Wait. It's gonna be after Christmas.
No, it won't.
No.
It'll be Christmas Eve.
Oh, big. Okay, so the top 10 Christmas songs you need to listen to tonight to have a lit Christmas.
In my mind.
Amen. But I'm doing it like 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Like the way they do math nowadays?
Listen, yes.
5-month free rent. But anyway, going on into the shenanigans of the world. So,
Waiting for the shenanigans.
Right. That long pause.
if y'all motherfuckers do not call your Congress people, you won't be seeing our black asses anymore because I ain't paying no extra for this damn Squarespace. So y'all can be on my site with an acceptable speed rate because you want to get your internet through Comcast.
I mean, SoundCloud, YouTube.
I'm not upgrading these memberships because the bitch already broke.
Oh, that's you. Oh, no, that's not you.
They're going to have to upgrade too, though.
Right.
They're going to work both ways.
I was about to say, it's going to hit both sides.
Will we see my bucket?
Can I give a warning?
Yes.
So if you do not like history like I do, if you do not like history like I do, let me be the first to tell you that we're about to go into a recession. We're kind of headed for one right now, just to let you know. Typically and historically, when a Republican comes into office, we go into one. The issue is that I can see this going into a depression because we have a orange in office, and orange is not a party. So just prepare yourself for like something a little bit more drastic than a recession. Because if you look at everything that he's doing right now, I mean, like for businesses, period, like we thrive right now with net neutrality in small businesses because so many businesses thrive on the internet. Like Fashion Nova, hello.
Online sales only.
Exactly.
Digital marketing.
Exactly.
So a lot of brick and mortar people like BB have closed down their stores and went strictly to online sales.
But you can understand why they want the net neutrality thing, right? Also plays in the hand with what's going on with the stock market and money wise.
Oh yeah.
Think about if digital currency takes over. Guess what you don't need anymore?
I don't need a Visa card.
No, it's not even that. You don't need a national bank. AKA the reserves, which are already empty. Now, because we control the internet, so all you folks if you're paying attention, Bitcoin is $19,000 as of last week, roughly, give or take. And you cut out every bank across the world. Think about it. How do I control these people killing the market right now? You know what? Let's propose this internet bill out of nowhere again for the 7th time, because Obama went through that and got that fixed through his term. Let's reintroduce it because now it's up for debate again, and let's try and get it passed. Even though there was the one person out of the 5 up there voting for it. I don't understand how 5 people are really making this decision.
Amen.
Where she was like, I do not agree with this. She was melanin. That she does not agree with. If you need to look it up, look up the video, because her whole video is on the internet where she is saying how she does not believe this is lawful and is okay.
And it is not. Fuck you bitches that think that y'all can just, okay, honestly, I really think we're going back to, it's going to be like a modern slavery. It's one of like my biggest fears, but I can also like really see it happening. But it's like a modern slavery, and instead of it being based off like race and ethnicity, it's based on classism.
So we're back to the class system all over again.
Exactly.
Which,
yes, basically. Exactly. And I would also like to say that in history, the thing that I love, every single like nation that always like was up on the rise and like the top nation has always fallen. And they've always fallen because of a leader. Not just because of the leader, but people start, plotting on your downfall. But you always get that leader that just helps crumble it. Happened to the Ottomans, happened to Genghis Khan and all of them. So it's just like, be prepared. We got the orange in office.
And I love me some Genghis.
Not the restaurant.
I do like Genghis Khan though.
I do love Genghis Khan.
Shout
That
out
nigga was like, you gonna kill my daddy in front of me? I'm gonna beat your bitch ass.
Yes.
That's how it started.
I was like that if you have the Netflix, while it's still, the price it is now, Marco Polo on Netflix is really good, and it's about like the Genghis Khan stuff. That's it.
In other news, apparently the Christmas Story Live that came on tonight sucks ass.
Yeah, which is really sad because like I was thinking, like the Wiz Live was really good, and I thought it was gonna be really bad, but I was impressed.
Who want to see the Christmas Story Live? Which is this?
Caucasians.
I like the Christmas
Leave
story.
it in black and white.
Christmas story house.
Leave it the way it is, in black and white, outdated. Don't change.
And then like Maya Rudolph is the mom. She's black, and then she has like these white kids.
How does that work? How does that work, Sway? I mean, I get how it works.
Right. Like I know that she's white and black, but
let's be honest.
Well, like I get it, but like no.
Anywho, so while we are now freely looking up information before it all goes away, before it all goes away, Libya still got a slave trade going on. Like it's real. And so what's happening is like there's basically a distressed. Oh, don't worry about what I did on your phone. Basically, there's a distress.
Oh, okay.
There's a distress in Libya and what's that other area? What's the other area that's by Libya? Basically, people are evacuating the country that's by Libya, and they're going through Libya to get to Europe. So what's happening is the slave trade people are like sort of detouring them like, oh yeah, this boat takes you to Europe. When it does it puts you in enslavement. So that a lot of that stuff is going on. And it sort of sucks. It's mainly men from what I've seen from the pictures that were posted. It was mainly men being swept up, which in most cases of distress, when people are leaving their country, the men do go first, be like, oh, I found a job.
What's the easiest way to cripple a country?
Yeah.
What's the easiest way to cripple a country?
By separating people?
No, you can't. Women can't procreate by themselves.
Oh, yeah, you're right.
So if you take all the seeds to make new children, guess what happens?
There's no more children.
How do you do that?
She over here playing with
No, I'm sorry. I have shared my piece on this, okay? It's about to spread. So
it's
what
I'm
going
in Europe, they're gonna sweep me up in the nose.
You ever seen robots?
But the look on her face, like you can see the look on her face, it's like.
I mean, that country was headed that route anyway.
It really was.
Pay attention to what happened before certain people left office, before why they're heavily in those areas with military grade weaponry, doing what we always do when we go to these areas. We leave full live barracks full of weaponry for people to find. Bombing areas over there for no apparent reason at all. And then we just up and disappear.
Up and disappear.
Then the orange comes, number 45.
We don't like that motherfucker.
And then we automatically leave the UN. So we're no longer a part of none of the nonsense.
I didn't even vote for that shit because I read the fucking ballot. So I be like,
I mean, we help. Not saying that we're innocent. Like I've heard that people like the UN needs to come over there, but I'm like, the US has no say so. We're no longer part of the UN.
I was also about to say, although Roosevelt created the UN, we still didn't join. So like,
he
was like, y'all should do this.
Right.
He was like, y'all should govern the world, and we shouldn't be a part of it because we are not. We clearly don't need to be making decisions.
Like y'all should do this.
Right, not us.
Right. Fades into the background. Fades into the background.
We're not responsible enough yet. Y'all got it.
No, I think that the reason why we tapped out is because Sean might do some fucked up shit and can't nobody go say us. He don't want nobody. Can't nobody.
I'm about to say things from Trump.
But listen, my gospel gang stuff bug can.
Right.
God, listen.
You said gospel gang.
If that's how you see your God.
I love Tupac.
Hell
So
Right.
going on from there, this took a turn because this is what I thought. Maybe I should shut because I know exactly. Maybe I should switch these.
But we think
On a happier note.
Well, on a happier note, Offset turned 26 and had the set gala in Atlanta, and me and Quavo went. It was amazing.
Oh, y'all there.
Yes, he was there.
What do you have on?
She ran into
He had on a Dolce & Gabbana sort of sequins top.
Yeah, the sequin top. Mm-hmm. Okay.
You can look it up. He had some nice Versace pants.
Versace?
And the pointed toe shoes. And then Cardi, she chose the wig that I picked out for her because it went with her dress. It was like half of it went all the way down to the ground with white and gold, and the other side was gold and nude, and it was short.
Okay.
And I was like, what did I wear? Of course, I wore a Dolce & Gabbana dress that went all the way down to the floor, but it had to split up the side.
You had a full leg split.
and a matching grill.
Yeah. Quavo bought it for me.
Mm.
We were matching. Because he wanted to wear black and white, and I was like, but you know my color is gold. And he was like, but you can have a gold grill, and it goes with your hair. So I was like,
oh, that's why you got the new hair.
So we had fun. There were a lot of, it was very star-studded, and apparently, like, he makes friends. And I'm appreciative for that because I feel like Pharrell was there. I feel like he fights a lot.
Pharrell?
No. Offset.
Oh, yes. No, we discussed it.
I feel like Offset fights a lot, so I'm like, I'm so happy that you have friends. It came out for my birthday. My old booze came.
The old booze? Which one was your old booze?
21.
I got you. Yeah.
You know, we just had a great time, and congratulations to Migos. He did get a new rave from Cardi B, but congratulations to the Migos in the whole because they are Grammy nominated 2 times.
So it's Cardi.
So it's SZA.
SZA's fucking up the chart.
She's leading with female nominees at 5. Then there's Kendrick Lamar, Jay-Z, and Bruno Mars, who are basically 6, 7, 8. Something like that. So congratulations. Apparently, Grammys is so black this year because even in album of the year sector, there's always this one random white male person that be winning album of the year. And then this year the lineup is Bruno Mars, Jay-Z, Kendrick Lamar, and then Lorde. So there's no white men in this category, and it's like the first time in forever.
All I fucking know is that
Lorde gonna come up and be like, I want to.
Right. Girl, you don't sit your light ass. No, I would pop up on that stage, clean out of Atlanta.
Exactly. Yeah, 5, huh?
Yep, my ass tape. We gotta rock it.
Oh, okay. I will be there, so I mean, I'm gonna just walk up there anyway while they handed it out, or when they have to say something like,
right.
You just go Kanye West.
I'm gonna just yell it so loud, I like to hear it.
Migos! Anywho, yeah, good times in my head.
Excellent.
Very much so, and I'm excited. Something wrong with this girl. Right. Speaking of the opposite of black, excellent. I don't know if y'all have seen it. We've seen it. And this has actually been an ongoing subject between me and Lexi, and the raising of your children in the education system.
I work for a school.
So Ladrea, listen, had put her business out there. Requested feedback. her son basically had this speech that he was assigned to do, and he has to say it 5 times a day. Or it was something.
He had to say it to her, and then she was supposed to sign off that he was practicing it.
You know, basically, also homework, and the parent being involved. So knowing that this is what your child has to do. So when you come in to a motherfucking teacher-parent conference, and I'm telling you your child didn't do something, you can't look at me like I'm crazy.
Exactly.
You can't look at me like I'm dumb when I'm like, he was supposed to get the sign by you anyway, and you signed off on it.
Listen.
So basically, she was saying that it's getting annoying to her.
So,
and I got it. Okay. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
And that
like up my spine.
And the fact that, okay, so one day she just didn't sign it.
Right.
And the baby didn't sign it. She didn't sign it. Went to school, came back, he got points taken off or whatever, and she was confused as to why her child got points taken off. Bitch, half of the assignment was for your ass to sign the paper.
Oh man.
That was it. And now she wants
his point.
He would have got his points, and now she wanted feedback, like what should she do? Everybody basically was like, sign the damn paper.
The baby recited it, right? You're listening or not?
People said, can they just post the assignment online? And we will sign it.
Black Twitter, right, will sign this paper for you, baby. So you can get your points. Right. Your mom is a dingbat.
Dumb me.
Oh my God.
Listen. You could have decided first thing in the morning.
You could have signed it before he started saying shit.
Mind you, this is the same little boy that she left in the house when she went to work, when she worked at a strip club. And the baby was like a good 4 or 5. And he called the police like, is somebody gonna beat up?
Well, he got some type of sense. Like, I'm not supposed to operate the stove.
Right. So a long she said this wasn't true. But allegedly, Andrea's son called 911 when he was little because she left and went to work. He was hungry. He wanted his microwavable meal. Could not reach the microwave. So he called the police, asking for somebody to come heat up his food.
Talking about it ain't where I believe it, right? Because the baby got it.
How did he get the phone? Where was the phone located?
The phone apparently was lower than the damn microwave. Because think about it, you had the microwave just over your stove.
So you can.
Right. Mm-hmm.
I'm thinking Rugrat style. Put your chair.
Right. But I guess it's what she was thinking that he would do. But here's you can see this child follows directions. She was like, say this every day. I gotta get it signed. So he's like,
but if I can't reach it over the stove,
I'm not supposed to touch it. Mommy said, policeman help. 911.
Last time I touched it, mommy whooped my ass.
Exactly. Exactly. Mr. Policeman.
So she came back into the store with the truth. She had a nanny or something. The nanny left. I don't know the truth. If you want to watch a really good interview, I am not a big fan of Wendy Williams, but but there are 2 that are my fave. There's one, Wendy and Omarosa. And the other one is Wendy and Drea, because when I say Wendy shaded the fuck out of Drea the entire, from when Drea walked out to when Drea, I don't even know if she got up to the end of the interview until Wendy left her. It was just like, shade. She was like, so you're a basketball wife, but you're not a wife. You know you're not a wife, right? Oh, wait a minute, Wendy, you're better one either. So, yeah, I work for a school system, a school conglomerate, whatever you want to call it. And on a daily basis, we hear from parents calling in, coming up, texting, threatening, like to do something because their child did not do their assignment, which has led to multiple zeros, or just failing grades, and like you wonder why you're failing a class where all you do is like fill out applications in class. Thank you. But like your child's not doing their work, so you come cussing to us. So when we request that you just sign off on this stuff, or like sign off that you actually filled out the FAFSA with your kid because you didn't sign or didn't want to, your child now has a 0. Don't get upset at us.
Oh, just to fill out application.
An hour and 15 minutes every single day, 5 days a week, to fill out college applications and college scholarships for a whole semester.
What you telling me?
Exactly.
Why is there last year there was like a 54% passing rate for the class,
54.
which means an additional 46 was failing the class.
They not have computers?
And you get a goddamn computer, like to take home.
Oh. Okay, maybe they ain't got internet.
You have an hour and 15-minute class. You shouldn't have to take it home.
Oh.
Amen. Yeah, come on, bring them.
Maybe they was on.
Because these are the meetings we have with people who want to bring excuses. And because your GPA is so low, you only have to fill out 2 applications.
Maybe they can't read.
To work.
They dyslexic.
Wait, you fill out 2 applications for a job,
Right.
because maybe
they blinded the left eye with astigmatism in the right. So when they read words, they get upside down.
Right.
It's hazy. It's hazy on the right side when you look at it from the slant because the glare from the light and the computer.
We have substitutes that will come sit with you.
And then my fingers was cramped on the week.
We have substitutes and teaching aides that will come sit with you. We have a whole special education department which works with disabilities, physical and learning.
They don't know Latin.
Bring them.
I speak Latin.
Latin what? We have a Chinese
Roman
language,
Latin.
Spanish. Don't do it because look at all the resources are there. You want to know how I know? Because they're all in my office. About a good 42 of us in this one small room.
We got somebody that speak Latin in those schools too.
Yeah, because they help with SAT.
I tried to say that. I tried to think of anything.
And we'll pay for your ACT. All you have to do in class.
So the 46% of y'all that didn't do this, can y'all comment below?
Amen.
I got questions. I want to know. It's an hour and 15 minutes.
They
Unless you were doing your homework.
it wasn't even that. Doing your damn homework, because here's the thing. It don't take
You got the class.
Still, you have a whole hour and 15 minute long class. I need answers. So can y'all
Every
comment below?
day. Like, honestly, applying to college, if you just give me an hour and 15 minutes for a week straight, all my applications will be done.
Yeah, well, if I had an hour and 15 minutes and access to the TV,
You know what? Let's move on from this, because this ain't gonna be no hour and 15 minutes about how these babies is like, they don't connect dots well. Because apparently, because I was sitting at a damn light to turn left, right? So the light says I can't go, but everybody else is going, right? These two, they have to be like 16-year-olds. Instead of pressing the fucking button for the damn crosswalk, these hoes just start walking. I'm sitting there looking at them like, so y'all trying to get hit? Literally, everybody just stomped on brakes like, whoa, you're walking. We're going, it's green, like, what is going on? And they looking at them like, why are you trying to hit us? And they looking at them like, bitch, it's green.
Right.
They from New York, you know, New York is like wherever they feel like it.
Listen, I drove to New York once, like in the city, and I was pissed.
Don't they walk wherever they want.
Right. I have the right to play, but if I hit you, it's on me.
They don't care about that, no
Like,
right?
you just sitting at the light for 20 minutes because everybody wants to be walking.
Right.
Not in Georgia.
Right.
Because I've seen it where somebody did get hit in the crossway, but because they didn't have the light, the policeman threw the ticket in there. See y'all later. But speaking of Omarosa dumbass, she got kicked out of
She got mad.
the White House.
resigned.
How? How?
Then she resigned before they got papers. She saw it coming. She said, "I quit." Ran out the office.
She walked out like my only baby.
Omarosa got fired. Okay.
She got fired.
FIED.
Oh, bitch ass. That's what she gets.
She
She's gonna go on
2020
and try to cry.
Right. She's
She's
going
gonna
to
go on 2020 and try to cry.
Oh. I was like, wait a minute.
She tried to cry, talking about like people don't accept me. No, bitch, because
You turned your card in.
you turned your
I
card
traded
in.
her a long time ago. I think I traded her for like a pack of gummy bears.
I think I traded her when she killed Andre the Giant. You ain't hear that with me.
Stop saying she killed the man.
Andre the Giant family thinks so too, and I'm with them.
You gonna keep calling Andre the Giant though?
Oh, yes. She a whole witch out here in these streets.
Amen. But to
She got the blood in her spaghetti.
listen, she is trying to
She
crawl her way
got
back into
chickens
the
in her closet.
For sure, the same Dragon Azalea also had a week of fail. Oh baby.
What is? Don't she not have a hobby?
Nope. Azalea?
Right.
Her hobby is Twitter.
Right.
She got no music to make. No songs to write for somebody.
Who's listening to them?
I don't know. She can ghost write for somebody.
But you have to keep your mouth shut. People don't want you to be their ghostwriter. She can't do that. Bitches, I wrote Love on Top. If you don't shut the fuck up.
Example.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, hell no.
Right.
But I'm for her. No. Something wrong with her. But apparently,
The sexual assault legacy.
it's a legacy out here in these streets. All of our favorites or non-favorites are turning in, resigning because of sexual assault, misconduct, not assault, a sexual misconduct
from previous years.
Some of these I do see actually happening, and some of them, and some of these I'm like, yeah.
I mean, I hate to say it, this is the year of cheaters. First off, let's call it what it is.
True.
Everybody's in it. But even the biggest one said it. He did it in the Breakfast Club interview before he did his own dirt. Said years ago, don't put yourself in this situation.
Amen.
I feel like if you know, I don't follow all of that. I just know there's some. If you know that Mr. Was it the wine?
I was still out of the airport.
The wine staff dude, whatever his name is.
Weinstein Harvey.
Yeah. If you know Mr. Harvey has a long tradition of people before you, why do you go sit in his office?
Listen.
If you know you're the 500 person that's went in there and this has happened to you, you know there's 499 other victims. The hell you go? I get it's your career. I understand that, but I'm not buying it.
Yeah, and people say like, "Oh, you're victim blaming. Oh, you're victim blaming." But this goes back to what did I say? You have to make better decisions.
Right, and then y'all let him do this. So it's not like you got happened and you.
Except for Lupita, she bounced. Lupita was like,
"I'm not the only one. There's a few other ones that said that it's in the office." But my thing is, if you knew this happened to 499 other people, nobody wanted to say anything. I'm not blaming the victim.
I feel like nobody, especially in that situation, nobody wanted to say anything because of blackballing, and they're like, I need a job, I want a job, I want to be in here. So at that point in time, it was like morals or.
Spike Lee had a whole long movie company between that same era that they say this stuff was happening that was hiring people left and right. White, majority black. But let's be honest, was he not doing a whole bunch of movies and taking everybody that would come and act for him? So you other ways. A lot of them had their own, could have went to their own other production companies.
Right.
Could have shut down Warner Brothers and everybody else.
True.
I mean,
look.
I'm just saying, I don't know the full details of it. I just know I just not mind all of them. I get it.
Yeah.
My other thing is why you wait so long.
Yeah.
Like I know there's no statute of limitation on accusations in most states, but still, my thing is after it happened, you didn't want to.
Right.
Like, hey,
And
surprise.
I understand, but I get both sides because it's like my career, he's gonna blackball me. But then it's like, do you keep going on there, or not say anything for morality reasons? But I mean, maybe because that little white man would have touched me, I'm telling. And if it was an unwanted touch, I'm gonna tell on him. I'm already black. It's already gonna be hard for me. Okay, whatever.
Right.
But you just ain't gonna touch me without my permission. That would have been in the books. So now, when all these other people are coming out, it would have been like, well, that little nigga girl said it.
This document on this day.
Exactly. They would be like, well, that little nigga girl said it a couple of years ago that he was touching on her. Maybe this nigga is a sleazeball.
But I don't look at that. I look at it from a different perspective. Up in your footsteps. I look at you and admire you, and then now all of a sudden you're saying, so for 40 years, you let this happen. So what do you tell? I mean, in general, what do you tell somebody that's now looking at you as a mentor, and you say, well, this happened to me, and I was okay with it till today. Like today, I'm finally upset with it.
Right. Okay, so I do want to speak on it at my job, they did force us to, I have to plug into this one. At my job, they did force us to do a sexual, like have a talk about sexual misconduct and blah, blah, blah. Oh yeah, I have my USB port thing, not the regular one. Sorry guys. And so in it, you just talk about like, what is it? What is it to you? Blah, blah, blah. And so in the process of it, this was, I think, last week, I realized I was sexually assaulted. So then I had to go back and think about what is sexual assault, because this happened a long time ago. I was like a kid, and like it happened by like other kids. I was like, no, I was going to high school.
Right.
And so like, and it happened by like another kid. And to me, it was just like something that went too far, but like I stopped it, so like it didn't go any further.
Mm-hmm.
But it's nothing that has ever like bothered me or hurt me, or like something I pondered back on until this was brought up. So then it made me think, okay, if you don't know what sexual assault is, it takes because you can say, okay, this is wrong, or this feels wrong, and it happens, but you kind of just let it go. So I also understand that too, like, because I never thought of that as like, oh, this is sexual assault until like we had this conversation.
Right.
You know what I mean? So for like some of these people, even hearing somebody else's story of like, oh, he just rubbed his hand on my booty and I didn't want it, you know?
Right.
That is also a form of sexual harassment or sexual assault, sexual misconduct.
Yeah, I get that.
And so that's the thing, like, it might take somebody listening to somebody else's story for you to recall that, to say, oh, that happened to me too. Now, I don't even know the person who did it or whatever to me. Right, but it didn't bother me. But for someone else, it's like, okay, that same thing happened to me. I want to speak up too because it's something I never dealt with.
Right.
So I get it in the aspect of some stories I can't believe. Some stories is just like, why did you wait so long? But then the other thing is just like,
recognition.
You're finally understanding that that's what it was.
I'm just speaking in general. Like, it's enough of y'all to where some of you need to acted together and been in offices with him.
Right.
And nothing clicked to some of you in the room. Like,
right.
Wait a minute. Like, that's just the thing I didn't understand. Like, y'all know this man does this. It's not just men and women.
But it's like, what is he doing?
It to everybody.
I've heard different stories.
I'm just saying, he does it to everybody. Men, women, whoever he gets hands on. And nobody's thinking like, wait a minute. Something about it doesn't seem right. Like, I get it. The fight or flight, physical mentality that people have should have kicked in for somebody. Right. And I mean, like, I'm not victim shaming or nothing. I'm like, y'all let this man pretty much monopolize the whole industry because without saying anything.
Yeah.
I'm like,
and honestly, I think now, and I'm not in that industry to really know how that works or whatever. But from what I do hear from people that I do know that are in there, like that blackballing stuff is real because it's a business that's word of mouth.
Right.
So it's just like if Harvey were to say to his friends or whatever, his friends with producers, blah blah blah, like we don't want this person. You never know what people like. 10 people can tell you no and like can beat you down and tell you no.
Yeah.
And it always goes back to like, oh, Harvey Weinstein said no.
Yeah.
Or Harvey, no. So it's like you don't even want to make the 11th step because you can't take an 11th no.
Right.
So it's like it's just all the different fears in it. And like I get it now. I promise you, like after I had like the sexual misconduct talk. But it was just like because before I was just like, why y'all bitches waiting? Like,
well, my thing is just the numbers. I'm like, all of you.
Right. So none of y'all ever talked about this. Right.
Like y'all were in the same office and nobody else is going on. I mean, that's the only part that kept me like, it's wrong no matter what. Don't get me wrong. He needs to take care. I said somebody throw him in jail, let him do the same thing he did to all of them to him.
Right.
He feel a different way. But my thing is, if we preach unity in numbers, we're all for one. Y'all want to go on this major grandstand of uniting. 300 of you just came out against one man.
Right.
All of years y'all did movies together.
Yeah.
Not once did anybody notice what. I get it, blackballing. I understand it. But in the private of your own situations, nobody like.
So
I feel awkward. Like no, or even just not even talking about that. I feel awkward when I'm around him. No, I feel awkward around him too. Like no general conversation. To maybe even shine some light to. Wait a minute. Something about him isn't right. No, this is me. That's my opinion. Like I feel like if we're so y'all are such a close knit, y'all at award shows, y'all honor this man at award shows, y'all are doing this with a fake ass smile on your face,
right?
And so excited and giving him hugs, but you're telling us we're doing this stuff to y'all,
right?
Y'all are comfortable enough to do that. Like that would have been
right. Because once you do it to me, and if it violates me, especially in that moment, like I can't talk.
I mean, we all know the science behind once that happens, people get a little awkward around people, but y'all are telling me y'all are around this man 40-some years.
Right.
And never felt awkward.
Yeah.
Like we've done the research is out there about what happens when people are in these type of situations and how they react to the people in these situations. And all those studies, and y'all are telling me y'all 70-some years.
Yeah.
History around this man, 70-some years, and y'all act like this is okay. I mean, I get it. A few actors I remember preaching out and then speaking out about what's going on. Jim Carrey and a few others, and you watch their career tank. Literally after they started to make that change of, what's going on in Hollywood is not what you think. And remember, he was up on stage doing rants about what you see is not everything it is what it is. Next thing you know, he's
being crazy.
But you think about it, Shia LaBeouf, look at him. Think about him too. He had his mental breakdown as well. He was saying what I'm going through in Hollywood is not what everybody thinks it is. So I'm like, now we understand where the craziness that we quote unquote call romantic.
I don't know about.
I feel like Nickelodeon / Disney might help contribute to that a little bit because they got patterns with they
Some of them.
Right.
Unless they have an actual home. Like, this is my child.
Pray for covering over Zendaya.
So, I mean,
she makes it.
I mean, I just feel like there has to be, like, y'all, some kind of community where y'all would chit chat amongst each other and, like.
No, it's not. And I'm saying this as in just in general on how I am. And then how I know how people work in there. My aunt, who was an actually rising model in the 80s and would have been on the same level as Naomi Campbell if she would have kept her mouth shut on certain things. Basically, she was like, you can't talk to anybody.
I get that.
It's like, okay, we're in this shit, and she actually said something about Russell Simmons. This is funny. So she's basically like, this guy's in here. These models are 16 years old. Why is he taking them home? Like she would say, like, they're too young for you.
Right.
All of a sudden, she can't do this show. because she's speaking out against it.
Right.
And it was in conversation. It wasn't like I'm going to Russell Simmons and telling him. It was like, girl, why are you taking on these 16-year-olds? Oh. So you can't, it's a tricky thing. Like, you don't know who to trust. You don't know. Right. So she may be in your house, kikiing, da. Oh, we got this movie, we in the trailer together. I don't know if I can really talk to her.
Right, but I'm just referring to like body language in general.
That it doesn't matter because it's basically in Hollywood. It's like, I'm gonna mind my business.
But we've already got the scientific proof. But no matter what situation you stick X amount of people in, when trauma happens, they react physically, some kind of resemblance of, hey, I don't want to be around this person. We didn't get any of that when they would honor this man. This man would come up and hug and touch
or
him.
you weren't shown
right.
It.
You didn't show any signs of.
No, I'm saying you weren't shown it. Like, Karens are amazing too. So it's like, she looked awkward.
Right, but I
mean, over here to this guy.
I'm also referring to them giving these speeches for them. Mm-hmm. You wouldn't be able to sit there and physically. I get it. You're acting 100% mental, but mentally, you knew this person did this to you. You could not just sit there and straight face recite this about something that you in your heart knew was wrong. Because we get it. I've seen it. Remember, we see people that's done it. Careers tank really when they say, "I'm not doing this." Because he did the whisper. He said no. Mm-hmm. They never acted ever again. Mm-hmm. They never modeled ever again. Russell Simmons. They never did music again. Russell Simmons, Def Jam. Mm-hmm. They never were on ESPN again when they had their little inner circle. Mm-hmm. NFL, same way. He never. So, I mean, I don't know. I'm not victim shaming. I feel like we got to cut the monster off at the head when the head shows its face.
Yeah.
Because we're quick to say, let's do it.
Yeah.
And then when it's time to do it, it's.
And then since it has been so long, of course he's going to keep doing it because that in his twisted mind,
it's okay.
It's like.
So now it's $499 and you were $500.
And now how come now?
More,
it's like, how come it's now like it's a problem?
Yes, 3,000 other new victims that he's attacked since you. So I mean, cut the monster out of his head, in my opinion. It's kind of one of those things. Everybody's had fighting careers sometimes after the main one they thought they wanted. Sometimes people come back and resurface. Look at Madonna. She's had what? 4 different career resurfaces?
I also don't even talk about her because I feel like she be sucking the souls.
Wait a minute.
Out of her young men that she did.
Exactly.
And I'm not going to talk about her because and me and Elton John feel the same way.
I was just talking about career resurgence. I ain't nothing about the other aspect.
I mean, so we ain't gonna talk about her. But we are going to move on. So with the it's close enough, I would. So with the Christmas season upon us.
Lexi all night in the camera, trying to be comfortable.
Listen, you see them thighs?
If y'all watching the live stream, y'all just gonna see thighs everywhere.
Yeah. Let the church say, yeah. The thighs say lies. They do on occasion.
I'm just kidding.
So I
you don't charge this for me. Leave that in Charlemagne.
Amen. You don't like thighs?
We had a whole conversation about what's okay and what's
not
okay.
I peeped you commenting on Sabria Majors.
Oh, I did comment on her.
I was taking a scroll and I was like, crap.
I wanted to vote just because. I was like, yeah, shit, why not?
Ooh, yeah, she's my friend in my head.
But as we move on,
ain't no shame in my game over here.
And we go towards the Christmas season and the season of giving, we want to remind you guys that overgiving will kill you. Mm-hmm. And don't let that happen. Basically, by overgiving, we mean like overspending, maxing out credit cards, and over exhausting your personal fuel
Let the Christmas steal the
to
morning
please other people. Now, me, myself, I'm just a naturally giving person. This is 365, 12 hours a day because I'm 12 asleep.
Yeah, she sleeps 12 hours a day.
What the hell are you doing?
She go to bed at 8 o'clock at night and she don't get up till 9 o'clock in the morning.
Basically, right. And it's already past my bedtime. But you can't exhaust yourself for your kids, family members, co-workers during this time, just for your own sanctity and sanity. If you don't have it, and this is like financially, if you don't have it or don't foresee having it, don't spend it.
Get on Pinterest.
Get on Pinterest and be very creative. And I'm saying this for parents, mainly because it's like, have that conversation with your children. And you may sit here and think that they can't grasp that, but a lot of kids are smart and they can connect dots together. You can honestly tell them like, yo, give me your Santa's list or whatever, if you let them believe in Santa, and say, hey, I don't know, maybe you can't get all of these, but you can get something. And just have that conversation and then be creative, because at the young ages of like young age kids, it's about the experience. It's about how you make them feel, because those toys are going to be broken within a week. It doesn't matter. They're not going to be played with within a week. They're going to be on to something else. So it's about the experience that you give them. And I know I say this, and people are probably looking at this like, you are a whole only child. I mean, I've gotten the both of both worlds, but why I like Christmas, it wasn't because of the toys or whatever, because I will tell you myself, I played with something for a week and I was like, I don't know why they got that. Afterwards, it's basically the experience that I got. My parents woke me up at like fucking 4 o'clock in the morning, like, come on, let's open gifts. They was playing music. We got like, my parents had like big stockings filled with candy, oranges, all that stuff. It was an experience, and I was excited for the experience. Like, fuck what I got. Like, I'm up at 3:30 waiting for my dad to bust in my room talking about wake up.
So when I also want to talk about over giving things, it also means giving kids things that they don't need. Okay, for example, I work with kids on the regular, like I work at a school, and I see a lot of parents, they get their kids weaves, phones, computers, jewelry, Uggs, Timbs, Claire's, designer shoes, and that stuff is nice. But let me explain that
your child is in the 46% of the class that ain't as a simple class.
Right, it's that, but it's also like there are college fees, like application fees, there are testing fees, there are enrollment fees and things like that. And those are little things like, honestly, your kid should have, because let's just say you're applying to St. John's University, your child is trying to go there. That is a $700 enrollment fee or enrollment deposit that you have to pay to cover your enrollment and room and board. If you are spending $700 at Christmas and you come May, you don't have that money, the $700 at Christmas should have been saved for your enrollment. You understand what I'm saying? Like, you have to
have these conversations.
Exactly. My little sister, she's 8. She knows that I don't like to give toys. I love to give books and things like that to help her learn, just because that's something that we are focusing on, pushing her beyond what she's doing right now. And so today we went to Target. She showed me all of her toys. And I said, oh, you know you're getting some books too, right? She was like, oh, I know. Can we go to the book section? we go to the book section, and this girl had a ball. Like, in Target, the book section is small. So she was like, I want books like these, Lexi. And she got really excited because the first book we saw was a book called Smile that she really wants. And I was like, Erica, how did you hear about this? She stayed on YouTube. I'm thinking one of the YouTubers she follows. Like, posted it. She said, well, I was just minding my business in the library, and I saw it, but somebody took it. And she, like, read through the book to, like, see what it was about. But somebody, like, checked it out as soon as she was about to go back to get the book, so she wasn't able to check the book out. And so she was like, but I really want to read it. So that's something my sister's getting for Christmas. Because it's like, those are things that she needs to better her reading. Right, and I want her to excel, and she can excel. She's a smart little girl, and I don't want her to be stuck to her toys, and I don't want her to be stuck to, like, electronics and things like that, because some of these babies can't read or do math.
Or understand that you can press the damn button to walk across the damn side.
That new math system, I love it, but I hate it. Because that thing is crazy. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and so on down the sheet of paper. And 1, 2, 3, 4, all the way up. What do they remember? Besides 1, 2, 3, 4.
Yeah, but you should know what 3 times 9 is.
I mean, I'm so used to it. As soon as I saw them do it, I was like, I know. Going to write that little number 18 times to do the math. They were like, oh, 1, 2, 3.
Right.
What is this? I was like, wait a minute. I'm not
getting it.
I get it. I'm just saying, when I saw them do the little.
Yeah. I learned that too, though.
What is this? What is this anti-Egyptian?
What is this witchcraft?
Let's simplify it. But yeah, it's just think about your kids in that sense. And in the over giving, that's when it goes to my grandma gives.
Well,
and don't overeat, because they like stuff that, like, and you gotta work it out throughout the day.
Exactly, and don't nobody want to be around you when you constipated,
right?
Uncomfortable.
Right, like you can get a lot of
they're gonna be
exactly. Like you can get a little of a lot.
Why y'all let me eat cheese?
Or a lot of a little. Right.
Everybody got that family member that can't eat cheese, but they got a whole plate of macaroni and cheese.
I mean, and then take your time, because I have a Christmas party every year or so at my house, and you ain't got to eat all the food sitting there. Like, we got to go places.
Okay, cool. Can I get a tray? I got the new song.
You better not show up to my damn house with no damn tray.
I got aluminum with a top.
I'm ready.
In front of everybody this week.
I'm gonna send you the little Instagram thing I saw. No. I want it to go trays. Y'all better understand the trays come in handy.
Oh Lord. But in the sense of overing in the holidays, don't overexhaust yourself emotionally. This is a time during the winter time, your guard isn't sort of up in that way to keep your positivity up. And it could be the weather, it could be Mercury is in retrograde, it could be like some other shit.
Anti-flow.
Exactly. It could be a lot of stuff that's going on. You could just be exactly.
You could have a whole new boo.
Ew. I know he's talking
about. Who was he talking about?
Got a whole new date the week before Christmas.
Nah, he's talking about the other one though.
Off air conversation.
What other one? Blaze? Because I love him.
I just said his name.
Blaze? No, not Blaze. No, not Blaze.
We talked like 3 seconds before the show started.
She didn't pay me no. See?
Exactly. Signs of a new boo.
Signs of a new boo.
Who?
Moving on. Let's get back on topic.
Hey, Quavis.
Who?
Quavis.
What are you talking about?
Hey, Aunt Joe.
Keontae Marshall.
Ooh, we watched that movie yesterday with Lakeith in it. When he went to jail for something he didn't do. He played that Jamaican man.
Is he really Jamaican? No.
American. You be
smoking weed though. Right. Something wrong with that. He been in my utility closet.
Man.
With my
whole utility closet.
The Leo.
For all y'all the Trill Treat dude, they locked him up the other places. I can't get no more Instagram stuff.
We're sorry. We're so sorry.
What's cracking yesterday?
It was. You know, the Trill Treat dude got locked up too.
Who's Trill Treat?
He was the one selling the weed snacks on Instagram. Because, you know, 2017 been the year of, I'm going to tell everybody I sell drugs on the internet.
That's when net neutrality comes in. Like, you don't need to be on my side. Delete. Oh, that shit. But don't over exaggerate yourself emotionally. Like I said earlier on Snapchat, because this little girl wouldn't be in her feelings about it, it ain't about her ass. Come on. Don't let Mercury in retrograde. Don't let Mercury in retrograde. Don't let Mercury in retrograde get your ass beat.
Mercury's gonna come down and beat your ass.
Amen. And you want to simple. Exactly. Your mentor don't like you. You make it show. Don't let it happen. Because you and your feelings
are not expressed by everybody.
Yes, they are.
You know what I said? I'm loud and perfect is a threat to anybody in person. Catch you when you're sleeping.
We didn't say it was Brittany.
Her ass needed too. Like, don't nobody like her. That's a damn shame. Your whole family don't even like her.
Brooks does not know who anybody they're talking about again. That is.
Your whole family don't like your stank ass. That's a damn shame. Like, your children don't even like you.
So, back on topic. So, we got those over and over.
Anywho. You know what? I think y'all got the But holidays should honestly be fun. And to keep your mentality and your sanctity, don't be afraid to divorce some of your family members or friends during this situation.
Yeah, cut that friends off.
And I mean, it don't even have to be like friends, like cutting them off. It could just be like not talking to them during
cut your bruise off, your toenails off, your fingernails off,
your hair off, the eyelashes if you want.
Exactly.
You can cut your eyebrows if you want to pencil them in.
So, is it time for the grind of the gears?
You wanted to.
She's like, she's going to skip the whole topic. She's going to grind it.
No, she just closed it.
Okay.
You have 2 cents on it?
Well, my grind of the gears kind of relates to this.
So we're going to skip ahead to the grindation of the gears.
Skip this and go on to.
What are we talking about?
To apparently one of our favorite part of the show. What grinds your gears?
Go ahead.
So, what grinds my gears? Actually, it comes from what we'll talk about today. And so, I have very caring people in my life. I care sometimes. But, like, I have just very caring people in my life, one being me, God. And so, we were on FaceTime one day, and she just had a conversation about somebody pissing her off. And all these people reaching out to her for assistance that don't reach out to, that aren't in your top 5. Yeah. Hell, top 10. Just reaching out, asking for things, asking for her energy, asking for her time, asking for material things, asking for money, work, all that stuff. And then on another situation, somebody had reached out to somebody else who's real close to me, and they were like,
Wait, birthday weekend.
Wait, weekend. Right. Friday, Saturday, you say Wednesday, Thursday.
You know, it's funny for like a
to the no. I said hell to the no.
And so it's just things like that really bother me just because I know how caring and loving so many people are that are in my immediate corner. You know what I mean? And it's just like for other people to even feel comfortable to open their mouth to say something that you don't even know like that. Like, no. And it's also Christmas time. And either I have kids or I have my own family or I have family or I'm just sitting and I'm about to spoil myself for Christmas. Or like I have other people that I do contact. Like there are things that it's an expensive season. I don't have the finances to support you too.
I don't have the finances to spur on your birthday weekend. We can go to later.
Exactly. You want me to take you to the Olive Garden?
Especially when you just went out of town.
Tell that nigga that you out of town to take you. Where he at?
Exactly.
Huh?
And so it's just one of those. I don't know. That just bothers me because I understand if you need help and support because you're going through something. I get that. I'm still not the one you should turn to for stuff like that. Me.
Yeah, don't turn her. Don't send her no message.
Seriously, because listen, you have a whole contract that you have to sign, and I take interest out on everything that like I'm not one. Okay, I always said if I ever hit the lottery, like I will give money to people to help them, but before you get a cent, first you take my financial class. Second of all, we're about to sit here and write out what you're doing with this money. Third of all, I'm paying the bills directly. Like
exactly, give me the link.
Exactly, just because people take things too far, or they'll ask for something, go do something else. Like, oh, I need the title to the car that you gave me. Why? Oh, I just want to switch it to my name. Why? You have a history of taking out car loans. Or like title.
I paid for the car.
Right, my car is paid off.
So why?
My business go drive the car. That you needed a car.
Drive the car.
Exactly. So it's just stuff like that. I feel like I'm not a selfish person, but I am also a very
little faith in the most average.
Because what you
show is what I family.
I just said
our immediate family.
I said average people.
I'm not just average people.
I'm lumping your immediate family.
Oh, right.
Well,
but it's just one of those.
They ain't average.
Right. I've seen a lot of people get hurt in our family. So it's just like I built all of my expectations for people based off what you tell me.
Right.
And so even if you're a random person on the street and you ask me for money, like you gotta show me something. So yeah, that's just don't overexalt yourself and be okay saying no. Because if you know that something's gonna put you in a financial situation or a financial bind while you're helping somebody else, that's not an opportunity to help you. You come first. That's it. That's really what I reminded you.
Did I go first or do you gotta?
You know.
I don't know what that means. For me, gradations of like I don't have nothing. I mean, I've done most of the ones that bother me all the time, but it's that time of year. Everybody's rolling into the new year. I think I'm going to get this out the way now because I'm not going to do it on the New Year's one. It's that time to reevaluate your situation. I'm going to call it like that way. If you said at the beginning of 2017, you were one of those people that said, new year, new me, and you ain't live up to your goals, guess what? You still got a whole nother year to try again.
To what?
Try again.
Try again. Don't stop. Just try again.
So don't come to me saying, well, I didn't hit my goals, or hey, we should do this. And I'm like, bet. Got the time to pull up. Let's make it happen. You don't hit it come January, December next year around this time, I'm gonna look at you like you're crazy. I didn't hit my goals. Well, how was that my problem? What did you do to make them hit? Ain't nobody gonna hand you nothing.
Mm-hmm.
So my gradation, I guess you kind of said, is not living up to your potential. You laid out your footwork, your game plan. Mm-hmm. Did you live up to your game plan?
And I mean, I understand what you're saying because it's like I'm not saying like because you didn't meet the goal, you suck at life. I'm just saying keep going.
Mm-hmm.
Right. So
can I get into that?
Go ahead, drop one.
So in my time of reflection since my birthday,
And work on this.
I'm from Atlanta. Okay, so upon reflecting, honestly, like around my birthday, before my birthday, I was a car accident. Yeah. And that really like shattered me because that was my first car accident ever. I was really trying to make it to like 25 before I got into the accident. It was like, damn, I'm about to turn 25. It's not 25 yet. So that really hurt me. And I realized in that time of like, it was just a lot of shit happening to me personally, emotionally, mentally, spiritually. I don't know how to talk about stuff like that to people. Yeah. And so I kept a lot of that to myself, but I was just like, one, I need to understand what is going on with me. So just sat down and just started reflecting, what is happening? Why do I feel like all the stuff that I attempted to try in the beginning of the year just did not go through, and it all fell back on me. Right. And like, I'm not a consistent person. I'm consistently me, which is an inconsistent person. So in order for me to change that, I had to realize, okay, Alexis, one, you can't say, okay, I'm gonna start January 1st. Right. I'm a believer that if you have that goal in mind, you need to start now. Right. Don't push it off to January 1st, I'm gonna eat better. January 1st.
Pull out your game plan and relook at it.
Right, let's look at it, right, start today. So it's just like, well, realistically, I still need that cheat meal 3 times a week.
Right, that cheat meal in there
exactly. 3 times a week. And then you work your way up. So it's just like re-goaling yourself. Yes, I hate that word. Okay. So
I was gonna say re-kicking.
Right. I completely get it. And I understand exactly where you come from because between the grind of the gears that I just said, yeah. It was going to be, I grind my own gears because I somehow, also like my insecurities, I allowed them to hold me back from not pushing myself forward. Right. And so like, I know that. So it's just like, okay, now that I know that, get over them. Right. So that's it. Mm-hmm. Just self-reflect, y'all. It's real fun.
Like I said, that's not that game plan you wrote. Exactly. Maybe this time 2 years ago.
Exactly.
I still ain't hit it because you've hit March. Check it off. It's just it kind of falls into the whole. That's why I said it. It's not really a grindation for me. I don't have one this week. Just want to give people some motivation. Just like you were saying, it's don't stress yourself out, mentally, emotionally, physically, mentally. That falls in line too. If you said at the end of last year, Christmas, I'm not overspending myself. I'm not gonna be broke again.
Or at least prepare a little
bit. Or do you come around this year and you in the same situation as you was last year? Break that sheet out that you had. You might let that sheet fall in some clothes on the floor.
Right.
Tuck that in a binder that you never looked at. You might need to reopen it back up.
And I challenge everybody. I challenge y'all too. I challenge you guys to do this too. So I wrote out all of my goals, and then because I'm just an organized person, I had to then create subsections. But then I saw somebody say, write out 500 things that you want. Mm-hmm.
500?
Yeah, 500.
Exactly. Let me tell you, I got to I think I'm on 58.
You can write 500.
I'm nowhere near close to 500. But I'm also going through it. It's just exactly. So it's just, I challenge people to do that just because even when you're struggling with your goal, it's also another reminder, okay, these are the things that I want to help you get that much. That's it.
And if y'all need a little help, I know I'm the most anti-social person on social media, so I'll really get on it. Go on and tag me in a link, and I will do it. I will reach out to you. I know some people need that little person to say, hey, how's it going?
So
what are you doing today? I do it all the time. Mm-hmm. Y'all seen two of you in here have seen me do drops on my IG stuff.
Mm-hmm. The real question is, do you have somebody?
Do I have somebody? I have a few people in certain aspects just to know what I'm doing.
Okay. Because I know you're a very caring person and very giving. You're a very caring person and very giving and manly stuff. You do all that.
All the manly stuff.
But you gotta remember, to me, I look at their accountability partner is almost like those people that say they have a mentor.
Yeah.
You can't have one.
Right.
There's no such thing as one.
Yeah, right.
You more than one because your accountability partner may not be the one that you go to hey, I want to be financially better.
They still grow.
But my accountability partner is my partner that gets me to get up and go to the gym every day.
Right.
Get your picture.
But they can't handle right.
That's how I do it.
They can't handle money. So you don't want that to be your accountability partner the same way your mentor wouldn't be the one you go to asking about how do I fly a jet today.
Right.
And this boy never flew a jet.
Yes.
Right. So just look, everybody needs a team, squad. The squad, you're only as strong as your squad.
Yeah, he's my library.
It's so just called him.
Yes, he's my library. I'm like, what books you read like this? And I go to Barnes and Noble and I get them. Do you like to read?
Yeah, I was reading that.
What type of books do you like to read? Does everybody get a book?
I mean, just anything, whatever catches my attention. I don't really have a preference.
So y'all just gonna skip over me?
No, you coming back to you. It's still on me. You got stories, so you gotta be prepared for yours. I read just about anything. Right now, it's still, little self-help stuff since we're doing the podcast, trying to be a little more versed in stuff, what we coming on.
This is weird. I'm sorry, I'm looking at my phone.
Right. Oh, my thing, what I do? So you now, the floor is all yours. Drum roll, please. Oh, she needs both mics. Hey, I pray for y'all.
Both with 2 F's.
Both of them.
Capital F's.
All right, so. Empathy is an amazing trait to have with people. It's also amazing to get from other people. You know what I'm saying? If you lack empathy, don't bring your bitch ass over here asking for empathy. All right, so I had a post on my Facebook, and basically it was saying like, yo, homegirl from It's a Thin Line wasn't really crazy. Martin's character was fucking with her. She basically, in the beginning of the movie, said, I've been hurt so many times, don't fuck with me. I can't go through it again. Instead of taking heed to that, being the nigga that he is, was like, I'm still these draws.
Right.
And I'm gonna be out.
And I'm gonna go date with
And I'm gonna go date whomever. I'm gonna go over here. I'm gonna go be over here with her. This lady proceeded to fuck with you. You know why? Because you fucked with her and she said, don't fuck with me. So basically everybody was like, yo, she wasn't really crazy. You sort of pushed her to that point after she gave you so many forewarnings.
She was great.
I mean, of course it was
that horse ride though.
I still be having nightmares about that.
I was referring to the first few weeks where he was dating her and the tip she was dropping. I'd have been out the door.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. Don't show up at my house.
Yeah.
Don't surprise me with nothing. 2 warning signs. You want to say funny? Go ahead, Candace.
But here's the thing, like people are more like, she totally gave him a warning. And of course it's always over exaggerated, but how many times do you get in a relationship, men and women, and somebody you're saying like, this is what I've been through.
Don't listen.
And the niggas don't, or men and women don't listen and still take you for granted. And then they're calling you crazy because you're like, why you acting like this? Like, why you doing this? And da 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 da. I was like, bitch, you was okay. All right, so basically that was the post. Somebody decided to say, no, that bitch is crazy.
I saw that. I did see that. I didn't comment because I wasn't getting into that post. I thought
so basically, he was like, no, that bitch is crazy. And I was like, please don't do this on this post because we're not talking about what actually went on in the film. Because the stuff in the film, that was a little crazy. You know why? Because it was a film.
Right.
It's not with the capital F for fallacy.
I feel like that happens every day. There's somebody out there like
Listen, I was at Walmart yesterday. I was cussing out her face.
What you gotta do? Pee in the damn Walmart. Why you gotta pee in the damn Walmart?
I was backed up like 8 times in this truck and she's still yelling. Because he said, I'm gonna buy my son a jacket. And so they went to Walmart. She gonna get the jacket waiting in line. She gets it ready to go get my jacket. So she's like, well, nigga, you should
told me. Had me looking like a damn idiot. Now the kid don't got a jacket.
Because when we get back in line to get the jacket.
You out exactly. You could have get back in line with the jacket once he came back from the bathroom. No, but okay, so basically, I mean, I'm pretty sure there are crazy people out there. I mean, I'm pretty sure there was somebody that did those exact things, but in general, people aren't going to go that far left.
Right. I get it.
So basically, this person kept on saying, "Nah, this bitch just crazy," and I'm like, "Don't do this," because you do this on my other posts too. Like, you're not playing devil's advocate; you're just being an asshole. Like, we're talking about like just the overall theme of the movie. He was basically fucking with her. So go on to just basically saying, well, so just because he slept with her, he deserved all that, right? No, of course he didn't. So I'm sitting here like, for you to not see the actual gist of the film, you are dummy. And for you to sit here and argue with me on my motherfucking post about what was right and what was wrong, you are a dummy. Hello? You are a dummy. Point blank, period. This person's brother comes on and basically explains it again. Like, no, this is basically, the theme of it was basically for you to not really root on Martin's character because he was actually messing with her from her first dialogue with him. He was messing with her. It's not necessarily for you to think that his way of living was correct. But apparently, okay, basically boiling down to it, this person always wants people to side with him, plead with him, understand what's going on in his life, be on my level so you can see that I need help, this, that, and the third. Or I just need somebody to understand me, this, that, and the third, for my music, for my vision, da, 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 da. Mm-hmm. Yeah, I need you to empathize with me. Right? Mm-hmm. For you not to empathize with the lady in that movie, that irritated the crap out of me. You know why? Because I know that you are the Martin in every situation that you have ever been in. That you've always taken people for granted. And you always want people to empathize with you. Because it's getting me angry because I know what type of family he comes from. I know what type of surrounding he is in. So this selfishness and this arrogance that you are right, but yet and still, I don't have to sympathize or empathize with anybody because I'm the right one. That type of attitude got on my nerves because you're a dummy. You don't have a job. Like, everything that you got has been given to you. And yet I am the same way, but in the same instance, no, I'm being nosy now. But basically, like, I don't understand. And this is basically the majority of what dudes that I've met. I don't understand how you can be so wanting of empathy and sympathy for your situation and yet cannot give it out. That's what grinds my gears. Basically. Like, that compassion, that consideration that you want from somebody else and that you demand from somebody else, especially a woman, that you cannot grasp that concept to give out to somebody else. Like, why?
There are a lot of situations where people want something from somebody that they don't get. Like, you want me to be faithful, but like, oh God, I was faithful. Or you want me to go to work.
But you ain't got no damn job.
Exactly.
Tommy? You ain't got no.
Tommy had money. Let's talk to Tommy.
Right.
You're right. Tommy had income.
He had an
I
inheritance.
Stocks and bonds.
You want somebody else to go to work while like you take care of the kids, but you come home every day in the house.
Like there has to be a give and take of something. I can't do all.
Trade-offs.
There's trade-offs,
right?
But you don't want to trade off like that. Is very irritating, and that has that has been my grind of the years. The whole year, I've been trying to put my finger on it. Like, why do I want to punch certain niggas in the face?
Or
right, it's an A what?
Several in the face. Why do I want to do this? Why? Because y'all are selfish. At the end of the day, you're selfish and you're very self-centered and narcissistic. That's for you.
Well, that was it.
So be dropping the quote because I feel like she needs to drop the quote.
So as we like to do, we like to leave you with a quote to start off your week. It's Christmas. We want you to be fruitful and not fertile. Don't know.
Fruitful and fertile.
We don't want you to be fertile, but I was like, what is that? It's like fertile.
Your birthday comes in June or July. Just know what your parents were doing between Thanksgiving and Christmas.
Baby listen to, because I'm sorry. I don't necessarily mean fruitful. I mean,
you don't necessarily.
I mean July. You come around the fall, you know what your parents were doing to.
Anywho, my quote is, if a man does not have the sauce, is lost. But the same man can be lost in the sauce.
Ooh.
Gucci man.
Message.
Bye, niggas. That was a good one.
Oh.
Yeah, we still alive.
Oh,